is a lot less dangerous than like, I don't know, the coalition that you're a part of that like condemns people for having children when they're in gay marriages, or says things like, you know, people that are of particular sexual orientations don't deserve the same equal rights. Well, would you say that that's something that's dangerous?
A coalition is going to have all sorts of people in it. So
it's like
MAGA, if we were talking
ideological diversity, right?
Yeah, if we were talking about what MAGA is, what I like about MAGA actually is that it's not a specific set of you have to believe this exact set, right? You have to believe these exact
some people in MAGA can
things.
believe like gay couples can have kids, and others can believe like that's degeneracy and those people need to be jailed. Well, those are like the difference of ideas.
Well, actually, the tough answer to that is yes. As long as you're not trying to litigate someone's life. I am around a lot of conservatives all the time, and particularly Christian conservatives, let's say, they generally are not for gay marriage. By the way, there's not one mosque in the United States that performs gay marriages, which is worth noting.
Why are you so focused on Muslims today?
Well, I'm just giving you giving you a fact. But what I have found consistently, you know, Donald Trump was the first incoming first-time president that was for gay marriage.
I actually really want to talk about that.
Barack Obama was not for gay marriage when he first came in.
And not until 2013.
So what I would say is, what I can tell you,
individual liberty, yet wants to police the way that people express themselves.
But what are they doing?
That also wants to police people's bodies, that want to go after people specifically because of their ethnicity. None of that should be tolerated.
So Donald Trump is in the middle of his second term. Gay marriage is here, it's passed, it's a just
then
cause.
Why are
I believe in individual rights.
Wait, you're friends with Michael Knowles, right?
Yeah.
So what's that coalition again called? I think it's like Less Equal, that's trying to actually get rid of Obergefell and overturn gay marriage rights. Does that not concern you?
Well, first off, I've never heard of that specific organization, but what I can tell you...
You're friends with them!
Michael is part of. I just don't know what you're talking about. But what I would
look it up right now.
What I would
it's
say
called
is
Less Than. And it's Lila Rose, Michael Knowles. I think it's what's that guy's name at the Daily Wire, the head one?
Okay, but that's not Donald Trump.
I understand that you want to go away from this.
No. That's not Donald Trump. That's not the head of the party. I have friends. Well, first off, Michael and I are friends, but there is a cap on our friendship. There actually is.
How are you friends with someone who doesn't want you to be in love, my man?
He doesn't want me to be in love. He's had dinner at my house with his wife. My husband cooked for him.
That's against God. So I want to have a word with him.
No. But think about what you're saying. I get it. No. Think about what I'm saying.
But what I want to say
your
is,
name. Wait. Hold on, champ. You know, in your world of how tolerant you are showing me you're actually showing a remarkable amount of.
I did get the joke.
You got that. Okay.
I mean, lots of people do all sorts of crazy sex.
Yeah.
But the issue is that what we're talking about here when we come to diversity.
But I wouldn't want that to have anything. I wouldn't want that to have anything to do with me being hired. Or
sure,
me
but
being
it's really hard to
into a
compare.
school.
So, sir, let's say I granted you all of the woke harms.
Yeah.
The issue is that it didn't take us to Iran. It didn't kill schoolgirls. It didn't right now crush with the FCC and kick multiple people off of air and threaten to pull things. It's not burning books in Florida.
Who's been kicked off air?
Jimmy Kimmel got kicked off of air. ABC was regularly under threat for doing these things. The FCC president,
ABC
president came out after Trump called him and said that we can't have these type of things. They crushed James Tallarico. But this has happened over and over again. There are books being burned.
James Tallarico is the nominee right now.
They crushed his appearance.
What do you mean they crushed his appearance?
The FCC wouldn't allow his appearance.
I don't know what you're talking about. I have literally no idea.
I guess
what you're
look
talking
it
about.
up.
We got to pause there.
Yeah.
I think you were talking about Colbert's show, but you've been voted out by the majority.
Okay.
You guys are slow, bro. How's it going, Dave?
You're quick. How you doing?
So I just quickly wanted to recognize, I love this, by the way. You have a very unconventional household, and wokeism is...
That was the promise of America, which is the promise of individual rights and equal opportunity. As for a few of the other things that you said there, again, if we could do you want to do the Iran thing again.
No, I said Donald Trump is violent.
Yeah, so Donald Trump is violent in what sense?
So I also want to mention the reason why you left the left, correct me if I'm wrong, is because you believe progressives were turning to authoritarianism. Am I correct there?
I mean,
that was your PragerU video. You said it. You can't deny it.
Settle down, Chip. There was a panoply of reasons that I did.
But that's one of them, correct?
Yeah.
Do you think it's authoritarian for the president of the United States to call for the death of 6 active members of the legislature for making a video that is totally fine and legal?
It's interesting. Oh, well, first off, you're talking about the video where they basically
Mark
Kelly and several of these guys were basically saying if you're in the military, you can go against Trump and all those things. Well, first off, there are some legal actual reasons that perhaps you should not, as a former member of the military, be telling.
The punishment for making videos is death. I forgot. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Did anyone?
Hang him. George Washington Wood.
Did anyone get put to death?
Does it matter? The president of the United States is actively calling for the death of members of the legislature.
And is anyone in trouble? Is anyone in trouble because of that? You're missing the difference.
No, you're saying Donald Trump
Okay,
hold on.
Hang on.
Let's just understand the prompt here.
So we can talk about the Langford bill, which was a piece of legislation which would have strengthened our borders, but Donald Trump had that legislation shot down. He
Wait,
also
wait. So were the borders open under Obama?
No.
Or under Biden?
No.
Let's try that. The borders were not open.
What piece of legislation
we did not,
did he pass to open the borders?
No, it's not about a piece of legislation. It's about quite
So
literally
how do you open the borders without legislation?
You just let people through, which is
So
exactly what we're doing.
there was no one standing at the borders. Everybody just come right in.
In many cases, yes, actually.
Okay.
In many cases, they were quite literally moving barbed wire fence.
Where did you get this
guys
information?
There are videos of it. Have you ever seen the video of
Yeah,
Bobby?
did you fact check
have
the
you ever
videos?
Have you ever seen the video of Bobby Kennedy when he was running as a Democrat, standing at the border? He was still a Democrat.
Wait,
and
you're
he
talking
could
about the
not
same one
leave.
that sniffed coke off a toilet seat and admitted it recently.
Wait, no.
The same one that actually took a dead bear and dropped it in Central Park. The same one that actually chopped the head off a whale. You're citing RFK Jr.?
Yes, I am citing RFK Jr.
No, I don't hear that.
Who's running HHS right now?
Which he shouldn't be, but that's
Okay.
fine.
Yeah.
Listen, when you talk about
how many people do you think came in under Biden? Let's see if we're even operating on the same plane.
the acceptable
Remotely.
number is about 10 million.
Okay, all right, fair enough. So I'll grant you that. They say it could be anywhere. I've heard 16 to 20 million, but let's say it's 10. Do you think that's good or fair or just, Barry?
Deporter in chief. Barack Obama had a negative immigration rate. That means that he deported more people than he let into the country.
So you're for deportations.
So we can say that there wasn't a border crisis under Obama, right?
The border crisis was significantly worse under Biden.
But under Obama, was there a crisis?
Barack Obama did.
Yes or no?
Barack Obama.
Yes or no?
Barack Obama did deport. I think more people than
Perfect.
Donald Trump.
So,
yeah.
but then
I wish
you're saying,
Donald Trump was deporting more people.
Sure,
yeah.
I agree. So you're saying there was a crisis under Biden?
Yes.
Okay,
of course.
but no crisis under Obama.
No, I didn't say that. He was deporting.
Yes or no? Yes or no?
Wait, hold on. Let's do Biden.
He had a negative deportation rate.
Let's do Biden and Trump.
No,
Biden
no.
and
I
Trump.
just
Let's
need
do the
you to answer
last
the question.
two
Hold on,
administrations.
just answer the question. Yes or no?
I am for anyone that will close
That's fine.
borders and deport
I'll say
people.
no. I'll say no. That's
okay.
fine.
Okay.
So if there wasn't a crisis under Obama and there was a crisis under Biden, what happened in between those two administrations? Was there something that happened?
Wait, are you blaming Donald Trump for Joe Biden's border?
No, what I'm blaming Donald Trump for is when he's actually campaigning for president and he's going around and to any news organization that would let him speak and telling everyone that the border's open. They're wide.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, how are you?
All right, good. What is one main metric that Donald Trump has made better off since he got in office? So like an example would be GDP, unemployment, inflation, et cetera.
Well, right now, first off, the big beautiful bill was just passed last year and it's kicking in now, right? It's kicking in now. Okay? So we're going to now see results of that. Like even the tariffs. All right, so let's do tariffs. Are you for or against tariffs?
Against the universal tariff. So what's the main metric that he made better off?
What?
What's the main metric that he made better off? GDP, unemployment, inflation? Do you have any idea?
Listen.
I don't think you do.
Do you think, hold on. So you're arguing that things economically were better under Joe Biden
At the end of his administration, absolutely.
Yeah, so can you give me an example of how?
Yeah, GDP growth was better off. Real median wage growth was better off. Inflation was better off at the end of his administration. Unemployment was better off at the end of his administration. We had the worst year of job growth in the past 4 years, just this last year under Trump's administration. The inflation, 3.8% year over year since Trump got in office. We're seeing all of those economic indicators become worse off. Can you tell me anything that he's done to make it better off? You say it's broken for Democrats. It sounds like it's broken right now under Trump.
Have you looked at the stock market?
It's worse off in terms of growth in 2025 as compared to 2024. If you look at Dow Jones and S&P 500.
The penalization
I thought you were
going
like
either
libertarian.
way.
Don't you want free trade?
No, that's what I'm saying. So,
Okay.
so I think you're agreeing with me. What Donald Trump is trying
he
to
hasn't
do is
overall decreased tariffs.
He's trying.
The Supreme Court did more to decrease tariffs than he did.
It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah,
They're
you keep saying
negotiating
that.
these things.
Have we done anything in his office yet?
Yes.
What?
Yes. Scott Besson every day is negotiating with these other countries. You think that
I think the negotiations are worse off with the JCPOA. We have
you-
less political concessions right now than we had a decade ago under the JCPOA. So tell me, what political concessions have we got with the war with Iran since Trump started it?
Well, right now, Iran literally exports no oil. Every day they are losing $500 million. So what you can do over time is you have a military adventure, which we had 40 days, which we took out their Air Force and their entire Navy and everything else. And now we completely control their
None of those were
economy.
concerned. What's
And
the political concession since the beginning of the war?
What's the political concession
Yes.
from Iran since
Yes.
the beginning of the war?
Yes, name one.
Well, we're having negotiations with them right now.
And we haven't gotten anything?
We're having negotiations with them
nothing.
right now.
So nothing.
Well, we're in a negotiation
We've been
process.
in a war for 2.5 months now. We got no political concessions.
A war for 2.5 months. How long do you think wars are supposed to take?
A decade ago, we had a limitation in terms of them enriching uranium to 3.7%. That was going to be in place until 20.
The majority of wealth in this system is owned by 1% of the population. You understand that, right? And where does that wealth come from?
Wait, 1% of the population. Do you know how much percent they pay in taxes? That 1%?
Not nearly enough, because
so
the majority of
so
their wealth comes from.
It's 47%.
Right.
Hold on. So 1% of the population pay 47%. You accept that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what would be their
and
fair
what
share?
percent of that
what would be their fair
is their
share?
actual wealth that they own? That again, majority of these lineages of,
Well, you
of
seem
power
to,
and
wait, hold on.
ownership
What would be
date
their fair
back
share?
to
What would be their
first
fair share?
accumulation of.
What would be their fair share?
I would say that the fact that they own so much.
1%
You're not letting me finish
47%
my
in
points.
taxes.
Here's my problem. You're not
Yeah.
letting me finish the point, so we
Yeah.
can't get from point A to B. Do you
Okay.
understand that?
Okay, so
cool.
if you accept
So
that 1%
there's
pay
not going to be a
47%,
fair share when their
yeah.
wealth is coming from the back ends of colonialism. So that's not going to work.
Okay, we got to pause there. We're going to reset. Please return to your seat. You've been voted out.
He's back. All right.
Good to see you again, Dave.
Nice to see you.
It's interesting to point to like 5 anecdotal examples as like an overall consensus on where the American people are moving.
Well, I think they qualify more as more than anecdote.
The Rubin report,
Yeah.
did that also accept Russian money from Tenet?
All right, I'm more than happy to talk about that. But
Let's
just
do it.
very quickly, to impugn Joe's motives, that at the day before the election, he suddenly said, I'm going to vote for Donald Trump for financial or click motives when he's the largest podcaster in the world. That's what you just said.
I'm not saying it's just
That
Joe
is-
Rogan.
that
I'm
is
saying
no, but that
that's
was
indicative
that-
of people
that
who
is
rely on
quite-
clicks.
that is quite
We
a
can walk
claim.
over Joe Rogan specifically.
Yeah.
I think his brain broke during
Yeah.
COVID, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
Because he went from somebody who went from like a huge Bernie Sanders supporter, so
Well,
pro single-payer healthcare, ensuring that we're more diplomatic in our international
Do you think
policy
it's
approach.
possibly he just
All of those-
evolved? Do you think it's possibly he just evolved to different points? than
All
you
of
did?
those,
Do you
Dave.
think his brain broke?
Real quick.
It's not possible that he just
Real
started
quick,
thinking
Dave.
about things a little
All
bit
of those are
differently than you.
political foundations.
Yeah.
Believing that the United States should not continue interventionism, believing that universal health care should be a right to people. These are political foundations.
No,
you don't
but
just
that- but
switch
that's not-
your
no,
political
no.
foundations like
No,
that.
well, hold on.
You
First
find
off,
that people are bullying you, or you're saying the left's too mean,
it's not
as
a
I've
right,
heard a lot
it's
of
not
times.
a right to someone else's labor. You have a right to
We can have a
free
universal health care
speech.
debate if you want, but I'm talking
Sure.
the overall why America shifted
Okay,
to the right.
but it seems
I have to talk about
it seems
the
to me
last
you're-
person who debated.
it seems
Most
to-
people feel like they can't get a leg up in this economy.
Okay,
and
but-
when you have a Democratic Party, this is where I'm pretty critical of Joe Biden. You're going to love this.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
I think that
What show
it's
did
more
I-
so that
what-
like your
what-
whole ideology is
Yeah.
like wokeness
What-
is
Let Dave-
bad.
let-
What
Dave
show?
respond, though.
What
This
show?
is
Did,
interesting.
what show did I do for Russia?
What?
What show did I do for
No,
Russia?
I'm not saying
What
you
did I-
did a
what
show
did I
for
do?
Russia. I'm
What did
saying
I
Russia
do?
saw you
What
as a
did I do?
stooge who could easily
Yeah.
say the talking points that benefited them.
But do you understand? They gave me no talking points. I did a show. It was
That's
a
the
call-in
point.
show.
But here's what we're missing, Dave. Right? I'm not saying Russia gave you a script to say. I'm saying Russia's like, yes, this is our guy. If we fund him more and we give him more influence, he's going to do
Oh
it
my
for us
God.
without
Oh
even
my
getting a
God.
script. Isn't that
Oh my
embarrassing?
God. No,
You
Well,
did
it's
it
a
without even getting
it's a-
instruction
it's-
from them.
It's a quite literal, fantastical adventure that you just went on there. Literally.
What's the adventure?
Literally, I did a call-in show.
Why
for
would
them.
Russia choose
you
you
don't
and Tim
even know.
Pool?
You
Wait,
don't-
why
you
would
don't
Russia
even-
choose
hold
you
on,
and Tim
Hold
Pool?
on, you don't even know what I did. You don't even know what the Tenet show that I did, do you? Did you ever watch it? Do you know the name of it? Do you know anything that I
no.
did? So you don't. So you quite literally have no idea what you're talking about.
They just gave you money because they're altruistic?
No, buddy.
They're just
buddy,
like, we're thinking of
buddy.
giving it to Dave.
No, because no. Well, first off, so just to be clear, you have literally no idea what you're talking about. You don't know the name of the show. You don't know the
How
name
much
of the
money
show
did you
that I
get,
did.
Dave?
You don't know the name of the show that I did for
I
them or
don't
what
think I need
did.
to know the
You don't-
specifics
if
on
you
a
read-
podcaster who
if
takes
you read-
Russian money.
Oh my God! No.
Show might not even been political in nature.
I know. So
But
you
the fact-
didn't. Just to be clear,
Real
you
quick,
didn't
Dave,
know the show.
Dave,
You didn't know the show or what I do.
Yeah. I want.
Yeah.
But the fact that they are building the social capital of the Rubin report being larger in infrastructure is
It wasn't
because
the Rubin report. It wasn't
no,
even the
but
Rubin
you
report.
as an entity, Dave,
Yeah.
they want to legitimize you more in the eyes of the viewers that they are trying to capture. That is the point of why Russia paid you specifically. They don't do it out of
Do
the
you think-
kindness
do
of
you-
their
do
hearts.
you think
They
it's-
didn't do it because they're like, Dave
So
seems like a good guy.
where is
They
the
did it
case?
because
Where is
Dave's
the case?
politics
Where is
is
the case?
advocating for cheerleading for Donald Trump policies, regardless of any criticism.
Where
That
is
is
the
the
case?
point.
Where is the case?
What do you mean, where's the case?
Where's the case? Where's the case right now? Why am I even able to talk about it? Why don't I have a lawyer sitting here? Where is the
I'm
case
not saying
at?
what you did was
Is the
illegal in
case-
nature.
is the
I'm
case
just
at-
saying that-
Well, hold on. There was a federal indictment. Wouldn't I be a little afraid to be talking about it right now?
I'm not, Dave. I'm not claiming.
Are they?
I started this conversation.
Is anyone in jail because of this?
You might not even have known about the Russian money. I'm not trying to cast that blame on you. I'm just saying it's interesting that your show is so ideologically aligned with what Russia wants for the United States that they are going to give you money to continue to do it. That is the point.
What is it that I do for Russia?
You suck Donald Trump's dick without criticizing any bad thing that he does.
All right, yeah, we got to pause. Mason, you got to go.
Sorry.
Questions about the 2020 election.
But did Donald Trump accept it?
Does Donald Trump? I think he thinks something went awry.
So he does not accept it. Now, did Donald Trump lose the 2020 election?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No, I
Really?
know.
Interesting.
No, yeah, that's the truth. I know that he was not the president by the end of that, but I do know that in all the chaos of COVID and mail-in ballots and everything else, that somehow magically Joe Biden got something like 20 million more votes than Barack Obama. That's a little bit curious.
Yeah, so voter turnout was incredibly high that election because voting was made easier.
Oh, because voting was. Well, you might think it have something to do if you are doing mail-in ballots. There might be a little more access to fraudulent abilities.
You might think that, but you have to actually provide evidence to demonstrate that, right?
I'm just skeptical. I'm just skeptical of it. I don't know. I'm skeptical of it.
Okay, so if just
I would venture to say that a little skepticism is probably a good thing. Also, the COVID vaccines didn't work. I mean, that's a fact.
That is not a fact.
That is a fact.
That isn't.
If you got a COVID vaccine, could you get COVID?
If
you got a COVID, yes, you could.
The claim was
could you
never,
transmit it?
Yes, the claim was never that transmission was at 0%. That's not how vaccines work.
Joe Biden, hold on. Joe Biden, if you get the COVID vaccine, you will not get nor transmit COVID.
Okay.
That is what.
With what he ran on.
I actually wish Donald Trump was being harder on crime.
Exactly.
And I actually
but
wish.
But the fact that you've defended him for the last 3 hours proves that you're not in touch with the reality of the situation.
No, I wish he was doing more as it came to deportations. You can only do so many things at once. You don't get everything that you want all the time.
You just defended Trump. You just defended Trump's deportation policy.
No.
So you wish he was doing more, or you're defending it? What is it?
No. I like the policy. I wish he was doing more.
Okay,
I wish he was doing more.
The fact that you are continuing to support a president who has not come through on his party promises is delusions.
No, it's not delusions.
It is delusions.
Donald Trump, as I said at the beginning,
you sat here and defended him for so long.
If Donald Trump did nothing else other than close the borders, he has already done more than enough for the country.
That's whoa. You think in 4 years a president's only responsibility is to close the borders? He's supposed to be running the free world. He's supposed to be running the entire country. That's all you care about is the border?
If you have a slow...
What about healthcare? What about the national debt? He's increased the national debt by $2.5 trillion. You don't give a about that?
If you have a slow, soft invasion of your country happening, then at the very least, you can close the borders and start kicking out the people who are not supposed to be here.
Okay, but you just said if the only thing that Trump did is close the borders, that would be an effective presidency to you?
If the only... Of course that's
conservative thinker Ronald Reagan, there are millions of unknowing Americans.
But they have to become Americans.
The conservative ideology of the 1980s actually invited people into America that were going to work hard and build a better life.
Course,
not people who tried to destroy America.
You would agree that you have to come
by
legally.
removing those people.
Well, first off, you would agree that they have to come legally?
I think that we need to reform our legal process so that people can come here legally effectively. Trump has actually shut down legal immigration more than he shut down illegal immigration.
Well, no, that's not true. Because the border is completely closed. There are people that are waiting in line to get into the country.
So that's not true. Trump has sent back about 80,000 people over the course of the second administration. Biden sent away 956,000. When it comes to border crossings, Biden stopped much more border crossings than Trump did. I'm not saying that's a good or bad thing. I'm just saying, objectively speaking, on a per year basis, Biden stopped more border crossings than Trump did.
Is anyone coming through the border right now?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, what numbers are coming through? I mean, the border is
I don't know the exact number because we don't actually track that. We only track border crossings are stopped.
The borders are completely closed and they were wide open under Biden. But the Reagan comment that you just made is that ideologically it's a beautiful thing about this country, which is interesting, which is that, yes, anyone can become an American, but you don't become an American by believing in American ideals. You become a child.
No, but if they are receiving medical treatment, life-saving medication in a first-world country, granted one of the worst healthcare situations in a first-world country, I think it'd be
I just want to make sure
Sweden.
we're talking about the same case. So in this specific case, you grant that the father was illegal, right?
We're talking about multiple cases. There's a 4-year-old kid with lung cancer, a 10-year-old kid with brain cancer.
The father was illegal, correct?
From my understanding, one of the parents was not documented immigrant.
So they didn't want to break up the family. I don't think you would want to do that, and
okay,
I wouldn't want to do that.
If they were acting in the best interest of the child, why were they withholding medication while they're in detention?
We got to pause here.
Again, the father was illegal. They didn't want to break up the family.
We got to pause here. You've been voted out.
Okay.
Listen, Dave, I'm going to be honest. I'm a little tired, but I'm not the president, so I'm not going to fall asleep, okay? Give me a second. Let me see that. So I want to defend the Democratic Party because...
Did you think that was funny?
I thought it was absolutely hilarious. But let's slow down. First of all, I'm pretty sure you talked a lot of shit about Joe Biden and who's demented, but I don't want to talk about that. I want to defend the Democratic Party.
Yeah. Do you not think Joe Biden had cognitive problems?
I'm joking. I'm joking. Hold on. I'm joking. Okay. The Democratic Party is
Are you an improv or something? I'm just curious.
Can we lock in or
I'm just trying to
lock in, King? Listen.
No, I'm with you. I'm trying to read what's going on
the
here.
Democratic Party, the left is clearly receptive to the needs